Hello my friends, welcome to day 13 of this 14-day challenge. I really hope you're enjoying it so far. Let me know how it's all going for you in the comment section down below. And if you have not already checked out Tana's studio, I encourage you to do so. If you're looking to deepen your practice with me and find out longer practices, go and head over there after this practice. Okay, let's get into it when you are ready. You're welcome to come to lie down on your tummy today to start with. We'll start in Sphinx. So you can bring your elbows beneath your shoulders and your feet can be about hip distance apart. And then right away start to push into the elbows and thread the heart forwards, opening up and bringing some awareness to the chest space and the front line of our bodies. We spend a lot of time, most of us spend a lot of time sitting in and kind of rounding forwards a lot, looking down at our screens. So opening up this space here, bringing some energy and awareness into the heart space and spine. This does not need to be a static shape, so you can gently begin to move the hips from left to right, noticing how the body is feeling today after yesterday's. Noticing how the body is feeling today. Tuning into the breath. We'll be here for about 2 to 3 more rounds. And then on your next in-breath, keeping the hips glued into the mat, start to pull the right heel towards the right glute. So even if you don't have a lot of range yet, just feel into what that feels like. And then exhale, we lower the right foot back down. We change sides, left heel to left bum, noticing what this side feels like. And then exhale, lower back down. So we'll continue like this, just using our active range of motion to find some space. Through the quads, through the hips, moving from left, and slowly moving over to the right. And noticing how with each time you might feel a little bit more space, a little bit more range. Continuing to breathe nice and steady through the nose. Okay, you can finish the round that you are on. And then with that out breath, lower the chest down to the floor, hands beneath shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest space, find a cobra pose, opening up the front line of the body. And then exhale, we soften down. Moving with breath, rise. As you reach through your heart space, open yourself up. And then exhale, we melt to the earth. One more time, breathe in. Firm around the glutes a bit as you reach up through the heart. And then on the out breath, we melt all the way back down. Now, take the hands behind you, come into your locust pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back body, immediately finding some awareness and activation here through the posterior chain, the back of the body. So we squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then we firm around the legs and the glutes, and start to lift your knees off the floor. Okay, it doesn't need to be super intense, just to a point where you start to feel everything wake up and begin to fire up a bit. One more round of breath. Lovely. Now soften your chest to the ground. Take your fingers to the sides. Elbows stay bent. And then it's a high cobra pose. Maybe coming a little bit higher, reaching up through the chest space, sternum. Exhale, we slowly ripple down. And then finding the breath in the movement. Again, reach up. And exhale to lower. One more time, inhale to elevate, and exhale, we ripple down to the earth. Hands beneath shoulders, child's pose with the toes tucked. Reach the hips back to the heels as you melt your forehead and palms to the earth. Take a juicy and full breath into the back rib cage. And then maybe softly let it go as you sigh it out through the mouth. With that out breath, round forwards and in, cat spine. Wrists are beneath shoulders here. Push away from the earth. And then drop the belly and lift the heart right through in your cow pose. Inhaling. Exhale, we round, plug into the palms, lift up through the back of your spine. And again, moving through a few cat-cows, finding some space, some depth, and maybe a little bit more range with each moment. and with each breath.
You can finish the round that you're on.
And then we meet in a neutral tabletop shape and start to find circular movements, just making sure our wrists are nice and warm. Moving in one direction, and then changing the directions of the circles. All right, beautiful. Take one round of a cow pose as you thread your heart open, and then with the out breath, lift your hips back, find your downward facing dog. You can walk the hands forwards and start to wiggle through the hip, shifting the hips from left to right, finding some space across the backs of your legs, sides of waist, arms and spine. With that next out breath, begin to lift your heels off the floor nice and high. Slowly rock forwards to a plank with control. You can take a chaturanga, maybe all the way down, or you can hover. You can find an upward facing or a cobra pose, your choice. Bend your knees and slowly roll the hips back, downward facing dog. We go again, heels rise off the floor, ripple through, hugging belly into spine, finding your vinyasa. Any vinyasa of your choice, whatever feels intuitive here. We roll the hips back with awareness, meet in your downward facing dog. Inhale, heels rise off the floor. Feel the opening through the backs of your feet. Notice how the body feels now. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. We take the hips back. Last round, heels elevate off the floor, roll through, shoulders over wrists. Chaturanga, hug the biceps in, upward facing dog, and downward facing, we melt the hips all the way back. Okay, on your next in-breath, begin to lift the heels off the floor, spin the heels to the left, toes to the right now, and then sink your hips back in space, glide the body forwards, you're in a side plank on your left wrist. So you can keep your right foot connected to the floor in front of you. And then we take the hips all the way back again in kind of like a crouching action and then glide it forwards. Inhale. Exhale, we take the hips back. And inhale, we glide the hips forwards. Let's go for one more. Take the hips back. Exhale, glide the hips forwards. Beautiful. Hold, lift the hips. And then drop both hands down to the floor. Take it to the other side. Heels to the right, toes to the left. Sink the hips back in space. Glide the body forward, side plank on your right wrist. Exhale, take the hips back. Really firm into those right fingers. Exhale, glide it forwards. And again, take it back. Finding that buoyancy through the legs, stretch forwards. Last round, beautiful guys, take it back. And exhale, glide it all the way forwards. Drop your left hand down to the floor, plank pose. Take your vinyasa. You might drop the knees first. Whatever feels good in your body, just waking everything up. We land here in our dog, spreading into toes and fingers, grounding into our breath. On your next in-breath, stretch your right toes back, find your three-legged dog. And then pull the right knee to the right tricep, round through the upper spine, and then lightly land outside of your right hand in a lizard lunge situation. Pull the hips down as much as you can and start to shift forwards and backwards here. So easing into inner thigh and into our hip flexor. On that out breath, nice and slowly, we'll find a long pyramid pose. If you're not quite ready for it, you're welcome to keep the right knee bent. Otherwise, play with straightening the right leg to whatever capacity works for you right now. Breathe in. And then with that out breath, rock the body forward, step the right foot back to meet the left foot. Take a flow here, chaturanga, to your upward facing dog. And then we melt the bottom back to our downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, send your left toes back, find your three-legged. On the out breath, pull the knee to the left tricep. We hold here for just a moment. And then we land outside of our left hand to find your lizard lunge. Melt your heart and your hips down. Start to feel into what this side feels like. Maybe noticing some asymmetry. Maybe feeling a bit more open or a bit more tight on this side. After all the yoga that we have been doing over the last 2 weeks or so, hopefully you're feeling nice and strong and connected. Okay, nice and slowly find your long pyramid variation. Melting closer towards your left leg. Finding some more space across your hamstring line. We rebend into the left leg, plugging hands into ground, plank pose, step it back. With control, find your vinyasa. Upward facing, opening up front line of body. And then we roll the hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lovely, guys. Let's get into our flow. Stretch your right toes back, find your three-legged dog. Pull the knee to the right tricep, round through the spine. Once again, we land outside of the right hand in our lizard lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, find a long pyramid pose, wave over the right shin bone, plugging into the back foot. And then we rock forwards back to a lunge. Come into a twist now, stretch the right arm long. So reach into the right fingers. You might circle out the right wrist here at the top if that feels good. And then on that out breath, land the right hand to the inner right foot, side angle pose. So whatever side angle allows you to feel open and stable right now, continue to push into the left foot. Reverse your triangle, both legs straighten, and you reach up and away out of the waist. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, come back down into that same side angle variation. Back leg is nice and active. Finding some more space. One more time, we straighten the right leg, reverse your triangle, inhale. Exhale, take a wide-legged fold to the side of your space. Find internal rotation through the legs, so toes in, heels out, and then walk the hands out in front of you, and then maybe pull the heart space and torso closer to the ground. From here, we're going to start to shift forwards and backwards. So really try to push into the edges of your feet. You're welcome to keep your knees as bent as you need. Just shifting forwards and then kind of bringing a little bit of weight onto the hands and then taking the hips to the back of your space for 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. And then with that next in-breath, start to shift the heels in, the toes out. We roll the body up into a horse pose. Stretch the arms tall and get nice and low into your seat, into your squat. We'll twist now to the left. So stretch your left hand behind you and your right hand in front of you. I know I'm not facing you guys, it's not ideal, but here we are. Okay, we're gonna reach the arms back up on the in-breath, and then we'll twist to the other side. So right fingers back and left fingers forwards. Try to continue to really allow the hips to drop quite low. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale again, we twist to the left. And inhale, find your center. We twist for last time to the right. Inhale, rise up. Straighten both legs, 5-pointed star, pull up through the kneecaps. Find a low lunge at the front of your space. Sweep your right toes back in a 3-legged dog. Reach into the heel. Slowly shift forwards in a 3-legged plank. You can take any vinyasa of your choice. You might find a 3-legged chaturanga to an upward facing. We all meet in our downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath as we move and as we explore. Stretch your left toes back, finding your 3-legged. Pull the knee to the left tricep as you lift your right heel off the floor a lot. Landing lightly outside of your left hand, finding your lizard lunge. We breathe in. Exhale, long pyramid pose, wave over your left shin bone. Active through the left leg. Rock the body forwards back to your lunge. Come into your twist now. Stretch your left fingers into the sky. begin to circle out your left wrist here at the top if you did so on the first side. Breathing into the thoracic spine, into our chest space. Okay, drop your left hand to the floor, to the inner part of your left foot. Side angle pose in the other direction. Okay, notice how much more space here you have across the side body and the back body after all of that work that we did at the beginning. Straighten both legs, reverse your triangle on the in-breath. On the out-breath, come back down, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Once again, radiate through your left fingers, feel the energy across your side. And then with the out-breath, we take our wide-legged fold, melt right in between your legs. All right, and if you have the openness through the legs, if you can reach the hands out in front of you, do so and plug into the hands. We start to lean forwards, feeling some of the weight of the body in the hands. And then exhale, we take the hips back. And again, moving with breath, shift forwards. Exhale, take the hips back. Inhale, come forwards. And exhale, take the hips back. With that next in-breath, lift the chest. Heels in, toes out, roll slowly upwards and reach the arms to the sky. See if you can sink a little bit lower into your hips. Find your edge. All right, we're going to twist to the left. So left fingers back, right fingers forwards. Inhale, arms rise. Keep pulling the tailbone in. Twist to the other side. Inhale, stretch long through the arms and then twist it once again towards your left side. And last time, almost there, stretch long, twist towards your right. Inhale, come all the way back up to center, straighten both legs, rise, lift out of the waist, travel to the front of your mat, low lunge. Plug into the hand, sweep your left toes into the sky, find your three-legged dog. As you keep the right heel lifted, shift forwards in your three-legged plank pose, maybe taking a three-legged chaturanga, or just moving through any flow of your choice. We all land in our downward facing dog. Let's land here with a nice spacious breath in through the nose, feeling the frontal rib cage expand a bit. And then exhale, let it out through the mouth and empty the lungs completely. Lift your gaze gently and begin to walk your toes towards the front of your space. We'll meet in a Malasana squat, yogi squat at the front, coming into a passive squat shape. Hands meet at the heart space. Lengthen the tailbone in, relax into the shoulders, and take a nice connected breath into the hips. How are the hips feeling today? How are they feeling right now? Any shifts, any changes from yesterday or the day before? And just being with that, without it having to be good or bad. Just deepening your awareness of your body and how we are changing every day. You can slowly take your hands behind you and lower your hips down to find a seat. And then stretch your left leg out in front of you, cross your right foot over your left thigh here. And then we wrap this left hand around the right knee and start to pull it into the chest. So we're hugging the thigh into the body. And then we take our twist, peeling the right shoulder towards the back of our space. And really trying to bring as much of the spine into this rotation as possible, so that we're not just cranking the cervical spine, not just cranking the neck, but really bringing the whole trunk into the movement. Opening up and creating a little bit more space. Okay, nice and slowly you can unwind. You're going to keep the cross of your legs and finding half Gomukhasana here. So your left leg is going to be extended just as we are. And you can try to bring this right knee on top of the left knee as far as possible. If your legs are like this, that's also fine. I just want you to try to have your bum kind of glued to the mat and so that your pelvis is tilted forwards like that. So when we have that tilt of the pelvis forward, the stretch, the opening is really happening in the hips, opposed to trying to lean forwards like that and all of the rounding, the flexion is happening here in the spine. So we kind of want to lift up and away and then lean forwards maybe a little bit. Maybe this is where you stay. And then we hold for 2 to 3 breaths. And then on your next breath, let's walk our way back up. Extend your right leg forward, so uncross the legs, sending right foot forwards, left foot crosses over right leg. We wrap our right arm around the left thigh here and hug it into the chest and peel your left shoulder behind you. Growing tall through your twist, so you're finding length and also a sense of space. Relax into the upper body and really let the breath just find its natural rhythm, awakening the relaxation response in the body by breathing slow and steady through our nostrils. Begin to unwind, keeping the cross of your legs, bringing your left knee closer towards your right knee, maybe in one line. Walk your bum backwards a little bit, and then fingers forwards in front of you. Let's lift and lengthen first. And then on the out breath, you can lean forwards a little bit, maybe if you did so on the other side, meeting your body where it is currently at. Nice and slow, begin to walk yourself back up. Let's uncross the legs and find a comfortable cross-legged seat, just placing one foot in front of the other. You can rest your hands on your knees and then sit up nice and tall without any kind of forceful rigidity in the body, but just finding length and allowing the energy to be open, receptive, and still. Now we find a few moments of stillness. After that opening, close your eyes. Just begin to tune into the rhythm of your breath. Before we close today's practice, we'll do a few rounds of box breathing. You may or may not have done this before. It's a lovely way to really down-regulate the nervous system, calm the body and calm the mind, and also increase our lung capacities. So it's quite straightforward. We keep the mouth closed. We breathe in and out through the nose. And then we breathe in on the count of 4, so I'll take you through it. So we inhale for 4, and then we hold the breath in for 4 counts, and then we exhale for 4 counts. And then we stay empty for 4 counts, and then we repeat. So it's just like a box, right? Inhale for 4, hold it in for 4, exhale for 4, and then stay empty for 4. All right, hands on the knees, nice tall spine. Relax into the body, nothing forceful. Feel a sense of softness. We start with a slow breath in through the nose first, and then empty out completely through the mouth. Starting now, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it in 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, stay empty 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it in 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, stay empty, 2, 3, 4, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold it in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. Relax into the body as you breathe. Loosen up the shoulders. continuing to focus on that rhythm. And then you can finish the round that you are on. And once you finish that round, you can gently bring the hands together at the heart space. Take a nice full and relaxed breath in through the nose, feeling everything expand on the in-breath. Opening the mouth and releasing completely. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that practice, and I hope you enjoyed that breath at the end. Well done for staying all the way through. It's totally normal to feel a little bit awkward with breath work, especially if that was the first time that you tried that. And if it did feel like it was too much, like the 4 count was too much, just try with 2. So in for 2, holding it in for 2, and then exhaling for 2, etc. Yeah. So yeah, but as I did say earlier, if you are looking to really build your breath practice and start to cultivate a deeper connection and understanding with your breath, then head over to Tana Studio, because I definitely have some more practices on there that's all about the breath, and we go much deeper into it. So yeah. If you are watching this on YouTube, please remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time there's a new practice. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow for our final day of this challenge. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.